What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Rooted Nature. Today, I'm back with 5 more things you can still plant in July. So this is 5 things you can still plant in July, part 2. Yeah, it's not too late to plant stuff out in your summer garden and harvest it before your first frost. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm gonna start off with, I actually don't have it in my garden right now. I harvested. I have one plant, but it's bad. I just left it alone. But the first thing is corn. Here's a corn plant. There's some fertilizer I need to pick up. Anyway, so that I just threw right there, then left it. Okay, that's not how you grow corn. But yeah, so corn loves the summer heat. It really does. It's a heat-loving crop. But the type of corn I'm talking about and I grow is sweet corn. Now you can still plant that in your garden, but make sure not to plant 2 varieties at one time because they will cross-pollinate. You won't get what you planted. So if you want to plant a dent corn and sweet corn, make sure their maturity dates are like at least, I'd say, 2 weeks apart. So y'all, just like in last video, I'll be giving y'all some varieties. Now I don't have the seed packs with me because I'm just out here doing this, but anyway, so don't mind this. Like I said in the last video, this is all dead. I'm waiting on them for seeds, and that's it. Anyway, so some early varieties that you can that will be ready to harvest before your last frost is Yukon Chief, Early Sunglow, and Fisher's Earliest. I know candy corn is also early variety, but yeah, anyway. So let's move on to the second crop. And that second crop would be beans, okay? So here's some beans that I planted about a month and a half ago. I've already got plenty of beans off of them. They're actually starting to dry up because, well, it's like it was 100 degrees today. And actually, if we move right over here, I just planted some the other day, and they're coming up. I direct sowed them. Now I also got some started that I'll be putting in the ground soon. Actually, by the time y'all see this video, I've already put them in the ground. But beans also love the heat. When I say love the heat, I don't mean like 100 degrees. Like, it was 100 degrees today, and these are literally crispy. But I mean like 80 to 90 degrees. 80 to 90 degrees, they do fine in my experience. I recommend bush beans because, well, for end of the season plantings, because they put on all their fruit at one time, kind of like a determinate tomato. And indeterminate is like a pole bean. A determinate is like a bush bean. And so pole beans put on a lot of growth before they put on beans, but these things have been putting on beans. Look how big this plant is right here. So in the middle we have a whole different planting. I hadn't picked but like twice off of this, but look how big that plant is. Pull this weed so y'all don't get confused. But anyway, so this plant right here, 2 plants beside each other, and it's already putting out beans. They just started putting out beans like a week or 2 weeks ago, but they will still continue to get bigger while putting on beans. Pole beans usually do a lot of their growing first and then put on beans. Anyway, so let's move on to the third crop that you can still plant. And that third crop, actually, I am considering doing, but that third crop is potatoes. You can still plant, well, in my zone 8A, you can still plant a second round of potatoes, probably 7A and 7B. You can still plant potatoes for a fall harvest. And listen, this is the good thing I like about potatoes. Potatoes grow on the ground, so even if you get an early frost or a late frost, I would recommend you leaving them in the ground until they fully die. So let the frost kill the plants, and then your potatoes underground will be just fine because they have protection from the soil around them. So they won't freeze. actually, a lot of people, I know a lot of people that store their carrots in the ground, their radish in the ground, their beets in the ground, stuff like that during the winter time. Like, they don't put them there, but they let the frost kill them, and then when they pick them, they'll still be good. So anyway, that, you can do that. That's the third crop. A couple varieties off the top of my head, russet potatoes. Now that potato takes a long time. It's a bacon potato. Yukon Gold is one of the faster growing ones. I can't think of a red potato. I know one, but I just can't think of it right now. Anyway, let's move on to the fourth crop. Okay, y'all, so this is for a lot of people. You can still plant. So the fourth thing is carrots. You actually should or could, just depends what zone you're in. In my zone, we can, or we can wait a little bit longer, but you can still plant carrots in the ground. So, or not in the ground, you know, just direct seed them. So make sure you keep them moist and stuff. They like to stay cool, kinda. Like, that's why people put boards on them, to keep them moist and not so hot. They don't like being, I think it's like 70 degrees or like something. I don't really know. But I know I'm going to be doing carrots this year. So that will be a video coming up, and I will explain everything in that video. So y'all just stay tuned for that. And let's move on to the fifth crop. Okay, y'all, so the fifth crop is actually going to be melons. You can still plant melons. Cantaloupe, just fine. Now, the big watermelons and stuff, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't plant now because they probably won't have time. I mean, you can always be up for a test or a challenge. You can always do that. It's your own garden. Remember that. Wait, sorry. I just noticed this brassica's been eaten or something. Like, it's like a clean cut, so I don't know. But I ain't noticed it. I didn't plant it anyway. But yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, melons. So some varieties I'd recommend is Sugar Baby. That's the small one. Now cantaloupe, you can really do any variety of that still. Cantaloupe really ripens fast. And y'all, the ones I had over here, I harvested both of them. Well, I harvested one, and then I came back out the next day to harvest the next one because I was going to let it get a little bit more ripe. And, well, something took a chunk out of it. So, yeah. So these will get pulled up now because they're done. And then, I don't know what we'll be putting there, but we'll put something there. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. There was 5 things you can still plant in your garden in the middle of July. So, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and subscribe, and comment if you have any questions or suggestions or anything. And also, if you're not subscribed and you hear me right now, make sure you subscribe because you made it to the end of the video. Anyway, I will see y'all tomorrow with the Tomato Day Tuesday. So, anyway, bye y'all.